Hello, everybody. Good to see you. Pop Culture Reader here. Wednesday evening, which means we are back with two more episodes of the classic show Gilligan's Island, and we're going to cover two more episodes from season three. I believe we're about maybe almost halfway through the season, and I know one thing: I'm definitely going to miss it when it's over. But let's not panic too badly. After we're done showing Gilligan's Island, we are going to cover the the three sequels afterwards, as well as interviews, clips of the cast on other things and stuff like that. So I'll make sure that we have plenty of Gilligan's Island experience before we leave. And but first, I want to say hello to my excellent buddy and my co-host, Gorilla's Random Thoughts. How are you doing tonight, Gorilla?
Oh, I'm doing pretty good. Getting kind of hungry though, but I got waited an hour. Dang it!
Why are you
Oh well.
cooking that in the regular? Why don't you cook it in the microwave? Does it turn out better than the oven?
Oh yeah, way better.
You might want to consider an air fryer one of these days. It cuts
Well,
down the
I can't.
time and it tastes pretty good.
Oh, this one here I can't put it in an air fryer because of the gravy and everything.
Oh, okay, it's splatter all over.
Yeah, no, but I can deal with that hour in the oven. It tastes really good and everything.
Well, that's cool. I mean, when you're doing a stream, time flies by anyway, right?
Yeah.
And it looks like we have some people that have been patiently waiting in the chat, which I highly appreciate. I wanted to say hello to everybody. So let me start off by saying hello. By the way, my computer has a delay, so that's why the when I played the opening theme here, there was a delay there, and whenever I select something, there's a delay. I don't know what's going on. My roommate's son is back. He may be doing some gaming, which might bog this down. I hope it doesn't affect our viewing experience. But first up, I'd like to say um, hello, Gap After Dark. Gap After Dark says, "Hey, Pops Gorilla et
Hey,
al."
hey, Gap.
And LDG is waving. Hello, LDG. Good to see you.
Yeah.
I
Hey,
was
Pickles.
listening to your discussion. Yes, hello. I was listening to your discussion on Bird's channel today about the ship hitting the bridge. Quite interesting. In fact, not only was I listening, but I had a ride that was taking me to my doctor's appointment, and she was listening as well. And we found it very humorous. I'll put it that way. And Jack After Dark says LDG. And looks like Pleasant Valley Picker CA is here. Hello, PvP. Good to see you. Nice new intro. That's actually the same old intro, unless something changes I don't know about. I think it's the one we've been using for a while now. And hello, Suzanne. Suzanne X says, good evening, Pop and Gorilla. And yep, see, come on,
Yeah.
delay, come on.
Hey, Suzanne. You want me to click them? And hey, Pop, or I mean PvP. You want me to click them?
There it goes. Yeah, if you can, I appreciate it. I don't know what's going on here today.
Yeah. Hakeem, welcome. Says hello,
Hello,
Pop.
Akeem.
Yeah. Suzanne says Gap,
Yeah, good to
hello.
see you.
PvP says probably won't be chatting much tonight as I have stuff to do. I
Sounds good.
so I'm just gonna start spewing off wrong facts so that forces PvP to correct me in the chat so he'll be forced to chat.
Especially if it's about right, especially if it's about Canada and their music, right? And you know
Yeah.
he's not gonna be able to handle that one.
Yeah, Suzanne
Or,
says
yeah, or
LDG.
specifically David Bowie. Yeah, I don't see anything wrong about David Bowie.
Yeah.
You'll get him on there, all right.
Yeah. And Suzanne says hello to Pickles. She says hello to Hakeem. And PvP saying hello to Suzanne. And Gap saying hello to everybody. Hello, Suzanne. And Greg says, I hope you're doing an interview with the giant spider. That is next week.
We will do our best. Yes, we will do our best.
The spider comes on Tuesday. And Hakeem say, hey, the Gap and PPV. Hey, Greg. And welcome, other Greg, by the way. Welcome. And LDG
Yeah,
says,
hello, Greg.
evening.
Evening.
And Pickle says, nice, LOL. Yeah, and PB says they had
Cool.
frozen meals at local groceries after work today. Unfortunately, last day of sale and my freezer is full, so just brought a 1.1 mac and cheese dinner for $6. Now what you need,
Whoa,
PB?
that better be a. Yeah, that sounds like a lot. That better be a big one or really, really good.
Yeah. See, what you need is these here. They're like 375, and it's really good. Got a bunch of protein and stuff. Banquet makes some good
If you
meals.
get it, if you get it from Dollar General.
Yeah. The regular price with the non-card holders was $12.99. Hey, now PvP.
Oh
No,
no!
nope, I can't make that joke. I better not make that. I was good.
For
Nope,
that
I
much,
better.
is that like the? Yeah, PvP. Is that like the family size? Is it like the big one or? Because that sounds awfully high.
Yeah, because how much is
I'm
1.14 kilograms?
very small, but I wouldn't be able to afford that. No, I wouldn't be able to buy anything at that cost.
Yeah, no, these here are good prices there, and they're really good. I don't buy them too often, but they're good. Yeah, apparently
And they're
Suzanne says that's
easy and
a good
they're
deal.
filling. Oh, it is. Oh, okay. Well, I stand corrected.
He goes, yes, Suzanne, the punch card saves me thousands. How, howdy? And he goes, that's $6 Canadian. Okay, so
Oh,
Pop,
lemon
that's about
pie.
a
Good to see you.
yeah, that's about a buck 25 American. And
I think it's
hey,
about
Scurvy.
$5, five
Yeah,
something.
yeah.
I
Hey,
remember
Scurvy.
it was a hello lemon pie. About a week or so ago, I did that Canadian to dollar conversion, and I think it's $6 would be about 5.25 or something. I think I could be wrong. Go Rocky, go eat.
Yeah, and Scurvy. Hello, Suzanne, and hello. And PvP says, frozen food is always expensive. Not all of it. He goes, no, not small.
Prepared.
Well, well, I don't. I still don't know how much. 1.1. Here, let's one. Let's see, 1.14
1.14 kilogram.
kilograms to freedom units.
Now a kilogram is a pound. Am I right?
Oh, okay. So for $13 Canadian, you get 2.55 pounds of food.
Well, it's not bad then.
Yeah. Okay.
It
All
just
right.
sounds expensive at first.
Yeah. I just need to know. Uh, yeah. You just gotta put in freedom units for us. He goes, I feel like a beached whale after eating it. Well, save it. Make it 2 meals out of it.
Ugh.
Make a couple meals out of it.
Yeah, save some
Like,
of them on. I eat for leftovers.
yeah. I send the giant spider out to gather groceries, so I don't pay anything, but I do have to clean the web off of the packaging. Oh, heck,
Oh,
hey, heck, you live near Houston, don't they have weekly 5 finger discounts for a bunch as long as a bunch of you storm the building at one time? The
that is true.
PvP says I got too much to do to cook, so frozen is okay. $6 for me.
Yes, when you're a bachelor too, frozen's okay.
Yeah, I still will split that up into like 3 or 4 meals.
Yeah, if
But
you gotta
anyhow,
put it
that's
with
all our
something
yeah,
else, you can have it at least 2 or 3 nights.
yeah, that's all our
All
chat. So
right,
should we get this started?
let's get this show on the road. Okay. Give me a moment, everyone, to get ready here.
Gotta
So
get
tonight, like I
ready.
said, we are on season 3. We are going to be covering episodes 11 and 12 of Gilligan's Island. The first one up to that is season 3, episode 11, The Invasion, which
Yeah,
originally broadcasted on Monday, November 21st, 1966.
Yeah, and this is the first. This is where they started doing the opening teaser scenes. So I'm guessing that the ratings
Yes.
were going down, so they had to do the teasers.
Well, I'm not sure if that's necessarily the factor or not. Could have been a creative decision.
Okay. Well, it is the last season, so I think they might have been trying to do. Oh, come on, come on. No, we got to do something to get the ratings up. Maybe they'll renew us.
Well, they thought, from what I read in the book, they thought they were going to be renewed. They were good. They were doing good in the ratings. They had no issues, no problems. The only reason why they were canceled, I don't know if you remember right, was because it was either Gunsmoke or Gilligan's Island, and the programming director of CBS, his wife liked Gunsmoke. So that's the only reason why Gilligan's Island was canceled. I'm like, get down, Rocky. But otherwise, we would have gotten more Gilligan's Island. And it's not like we needed more Gunsmoke. That show lasted for like 20, 21, 22 years. Why is my dog acting crazy? What are you doing, Fruit? Suddenly my dog is acting all crazy, wanting to be up in my lap. I don't know what's going on. All right. But as long as I guess he doesn't make much noise, I'll do the best I can to get through this and reach around him. All right.
Alrighty. So, and PvP says it may make 2 meals. Depends if I'm super hungry.
Okay, gotcha. Yeah, that
Yeah.
makes sense. That's what I would do is mix it with something and have it a couple nights. All right, let me get my. Let's not. I'm gonna make it a habit here, not to forget my overlays. So this is as Gorilla was mentioning. We're gonna start with the little teaser they're opening there, rather than the standard fare that we usually have always gotten before this.
Yeah. And we finally get something realistic with the fishing. The line actually snapped when Gilgil was trying to reel in.
Yes, it did. Yes, it did. So we have
Yeah.
Gilligan and Skipper fishing.
Yeah. Those poles look different from the last time we seen them.
Would not be surprised. That could be a little mistaken continuity. They do look like fishing poles. It doesn't look like something they made handmade out of bamboo or anything that I can tell.
Well, I'm guessing they upgraded the props for the fishing poles of the time.
Possibly, yes. And it looks like out of nowhere we got a little raft going on here.
Yeah, because the fishing poles are always constantly changing.
Yes, that's true. Where do you suppose this came from? So instead of reeling in fish, they bring in this suitcase or attache case, I guess you could say.
Yeah.
And Gilligan gets ready to toss it because he thinks it's worthless. And Skipper says, "No, don't throw it away. It might be something of value.
Yeah, but of course,
Put good stamps on it."
in the episode Bang Bang Bang, he arguing with Gilligan about bringing more junk in from the lagoon on the shore.
Yeah, maybe it's because he saw the U.S. government name on it. It made him change his mind, possibly.
Maybe I don't know.
Because he does say, "Look what's stamped on it."
I just
Sorry,
remember
what's
that
that?
he was. I just remember that he was complaining about Gilgo bringing in more junk from the lagoon.
Genuine cowhide, it says.
Then one of the things that I was told there, I'm not sure where it's at in the episode, but they used two different briefcases in this thing here. One had 3 inches and one had 2.
Inches?
The hinges, on the back of the case.
Hinges. Hinges.
Yeah, hinges.
Got it. Got it. Got it. Interesting. Yeah, we'll have to point that out. And we get our standard fare opening there. Gilligan is, not Gilligan, Ginger, you would notice has changed her hair for this episode.
Just this episode?
Well, this I know. No, often does, but here she has it straight down. I don't remember if
Yeah,
it's necessarily for the entire third season, but I know it is for. I believe it's this in the next episode. I
yeah.
could be wrong.
Now, if you look here, it has three cases, but we'll see throughout the episode, like somewhere in the middle, that
Hinges.
somewhere, yeah, hinges. After that, like somewhere in the episode, we'll see one that has two hinges.
Gotcha. Sorry, sounds like you're saying engines. And there we go. And they're debating what to do with it, of course, because it does say top secret. So the question is, should you open it? But the
Oh,
professor immediately
right here,
notices.
right here, two.
Yep. And they're completely different kind of hinges too.
Yeah,
These are the kind that look like they would make more sense for a locked attaché case. The other ones would be kind of flimsy, I would guess. See
yeah.
there?
Hey, and welcome, DJ Play Nice.
Hello, DJ. Good to see you. Yeah, those hinges here are really small and easy to pop. And these there look like they'd be a little more sturdier. So good eye
Yeah.
there for noticing that, Gorilla.
Oh, it wasn't my eye. I'll be honest. I cheated on that one. There is on a trivia thing.
No problem.
I'll be honest on that one.
So Professor immediately says, "This could be our secret home. We could be rescued." And then Gilligan says, "We go sailing home, and that is going to be standing room only." But he says no because it's so valuable to the government that they will do anything to track it down. So perhaps they'll come to the island looking for it. This is what I was talking about, her hair being Ginger's hair being
Oh,
straight down.
oh yeah, it is different.
I remember everybody, once again, I know you've heard this a dozen times or more, but I've got to be able to not get a copyright strike or a warning from YouTube, so we have to skip so many frames. So we're going to skip some dialogue, unfortunately, so we can't really make sense of all the jokes. I highly recommend you watch this on your own, and I hope this doesn't ruin the experience for you. If you hear the panting, that's my dog. I don't know why he's going crazy. He's acting like he's in heat. Come here,
Hey,
Rocky.
you can
Get
join
down.
my cat.
Go on. Sit down.
You can join my
Get
cat.
down. Yeah, put them both outside. It's like I wish I could let them outside for a while, but can't do that. So Professor says we can't open it. It says top secret. And then Gilligan says, "Well, maybe we can open from the bottom. The bottom, or maybe the bottom isn't secret." I like Ginger's hair here. I like that straight look. It looks a little more simplified.
Oh, well, yes and no. I do like the fluffed out thing, but I'm also a Marianne guy. I'm in the team Marianne.
That's true. I don't blame you. Me too. So the professor tells him, "Don't worry about it. Don't think about it. We can't open it. What we'll do is we'll sit on it, hold on to the case. The government will come looking for it." So we cut to that evening in Skipper and Gilligan's hut. And of course, that's all they're thinking about. What's inside the attache case? And Skipper tells Gilligan, "Would you go to sleep?" And Gilligan tells him he's trying to, but all he keeps thinking about is the case. And then the professor says it's only human nature for you to be curious. So you could see clearly, and I know I'm not imagining things, you could see Bob Denver's obviously getting older, and it's showing in this third season. You can, I hear in this shot, you could see the crow's feet, the wrinkles around his eyes. You can see he's getting older.
Oh, so
So the last time, go to sleep.
he's aging fast then.
He is. I don't know if it's because of the smoking, because the smoking causes premature aging.
Mm.
And then he pulled out his, yeah, if we were to go back and show some stills from, or video, stills or video from like the very first pilot and the very first few episodes, you would see the big difference in his age. Because that was like, we're in the third season now, so you're talking about 4 years ago, probably they shot the pilot.
Okay. Oh.
But I'd sure like to sneak over to the professor's hut, he says.
Oh, so you know how that's gonna go. This early in
Exactly.
the
And of course,
episode.
right, and of course, Skipper says, no, you just go to sleep. And then the skipper keeps talking about it.
Well,
And of course, the
curiosity.
skipper is just curious. Go ahead.
Yeah, but you think they don't want to open it because they say that it's government secrets and all that. It's like, hey man, when we fished it out of the lagoon, it popped open. So all they'd have to say is be like, all right, all right, all right. They could definitely got away with popping it open, but the story must go on.
You mean as far as if they told the government it just popped open?
Well, they said they don't want to peek into it because it's government secrets and they don't want to get in trouble with the government. And really, all you have to do is just tell them, hey man, when we pulled it onto shore, it just popped open.
Right, but if you tell the government that, I mean, that's easier said than done. You would not want to tell the government that because they don't want you knowing secrets. And if it's something that's really, really top secret, they'll make sure that nobody finds out because they're not going to trust your word. If you were to say, "Oh, we can't help it. As soon as we pulled it on shore, it just popped open," we won't tell anybody. They're not going to believe you. I guarantee you, they won't believe you. And if it's something really top secret, you're in trouble. So I would not say that it. I would be doing like the professor said. I would say, do not touch it. Do not open it. Do not tamper with it at all. But of course, like children, all that's going to do is make them more curious, right?
Yeah.
And as soon as my player decides to work, uh, it's been doing this the last couple of days, and I think my roommate's son is doing his gaming possibly. I remember a few weeks ago I had to cancel my stream because of that. I hope I don't have to tonight.
Yeah. If anything, I could pull it up onto my source and all that.
Yeah, hopefully. We tried that last time. I remember we had trouble. So here's where the
Yeah.
girls are talking about the same thing. They're just as curious.
Well, wouldn't you
They're
be?
talking about possibly. I don't know. Probably not. But
Oh,
of
I.
course, we have to here for sake of plot. But I wouldn't be interested because I know it has nothing to affect me. And honestly, if I opened up top secret documents, unless they were UFOs, it's probably not something that would interest me. And would probably be a bunch of names I don't even know. So the girls are talking about sneaking over to the professor's hut and finding out what's inside there. And here we have the house over there doing the same thing. You know, dear, I suppose I'm very silly, but I do want to know what's in that case. And what's funny, as soon as she says that, Mr. Howell pops out of bed and he's dressed for espionage. You can tell by how slow this is playing that it's going to be having issues tonight.
Oh, I'll get
At
two
least,
pulled up
well,
just in case.
yeah, have it standing by. I'll just not play any video clips. We'll just stick to just slides and hopefully to see if that works. Another saucer milk mother. The cat burglar prowls again. And there he goes. So it looks like the professor, we were talking about this last week, if I remember right. It looks like the professor, either he's not sleeping in his hut and he's sleeping in the supply hut to protect the attache case, or the supply hut is the professor's hut. So go figure. Because he definitely has the attache case there, and there's the boys there looking for it, and they're talking about the need to be quiet. And they said, not a peep. And then the first thing we get is a peep. And Gilligan said, that wasn't me, Skipper. It was him. And it looks like, we'll show it here in a second, that the professor put the attache case up on a barrel and a bird cage on top of it, kind of like a watchdog, so a watchbird. So that's why I said, how about that, a watchbird? And of course, it's hard
Right.
to catch it with the.
Uh,
You step on the stool and lift the bird cage.
yeah. No, that seems like it's almost too obvious. Like I'd be questioning that. Like, way too obvious. It's a trap.
Could be, and you think that the professor could have considered maybe hiding it somewhere
Oh, I've hit
instead
it
of
in
being
one
in
of the.
plain sight.
I will have hit it in one of the 3 million kids on the island.
That's true, and of course they screw this up. And they fall, and then they make a bunch of noise, which wakes up the professor. So a lot of good that did. And here come the girls, and they've got a fishing pole. Ginger says she's got the right kind of bait. So Ginger's going in there with the hook, and Marianne's gonna
Yeah.
reel it in. And there's a professor talking to the bird. You're a watchbird, aren't you? And the bird whistles. And
Yeah.
of course, there she is, and she goes to seduce the professor.
Yeah. Now, what man could turn down the advances of Ginger?
I know, and
Apparently,
especially
the
at this
professor.
hour. Only the professor, and only because he's asexual. I'm gonna grab a soda. I'll be right back. I need something to drink.
All right. Suzanne says Gilligan did age quickly. Yeah, he did. Yeah, like starting to get the gray hair and everything. And a DJ play nice and quickly. Yep. I mean, come, come on. You telling me that someone would turn down that? Granted, I'm a Marianne guy, but it's like, woo, woo, yeah, yeah. So, uh, oh, oh, what was that thing I was going to talk about here? Uh, nope, that's later on. Later on.
Okay, I am back.
Alrighty.
I take it you did you get caught up on the chat?
Yeah, I did.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Yep.
Okay, back where I left off. Oh, I couldn't sleep. Oh, and I was afraid of waking Marianne. So of course she's dropping the hook there, and of course Professor can't see it, but the hook snags on the handle of the attaché case. And then she said, "Then I saw that beautiful moon outside, and I thought, what a perfect night for romance. But could there be any reason why you're here?" He says. Well, what other reason?
Oh, he knows
And he says,
exactly
and the
what
case
reason.
is here.
Yeah, he knows
Exactly.
exactly what reason.
Oh,
Still
Professor,
wouldn't turn
why
her
I'm
down, but
shocked. Exactly. I'm shocked and surprised. And you're overacting, he says, which is funny.
Oh god, that was like a big like a slap in the face. You're telling her that she's overacting.
I know, especially coming from an actress, right? So, but she was able to get the hook under the handle of the case, as you can see here, and he escorts her out of the hut. And just as he does, we have another spy coming up. We have Mrs. Howell. Tramping in and out of there, I became indignant, she said. She's acting like she's upset that everybody's coming in and out of the professor's hut, even though, as she's speaking to him, Mr. Howell sneaks in the background. I don't know if we
Yeah.
can catch it or not in this slide.
Well, I wonder if they use the supply hut because that has a window, and the professor's I don't think has one.
That's possible for this gag here. So as
Yeah.
she's keeping the professor occupied, we have Mr. Howell sneaking into the window of the supply hut. I wouldn't treat their curiosity lightly, she says. I found out from one of my he said she's talking about her curiosity. But the professor's not going to fall for that old routine. There's Mr. Howell. He gets into the hut and he goes to grab the attaché case, but unfortunately it's sliding across the floor because the girls are tugging on it on the fishing line.
Yeah, you all have to
And he
push
bumps
flip
into
flop.
them. That's right. Professor puts down his
No,
foot and stops it and
well, he
catches
didn't
them in
put.
the act.
Yeah, he pulls them in. He doesn't bump into him. He just pulls it in.
So you were trying to steal the case, says the professor. And we got our next day scene. Or Seagull Lake Skipper? No, thank you, Marianne. One of seagull eggs tastes like bird eggs or like chicken eggs. I guess they're probably the same or similar.
Everything tastes like chicken. They all taste like
Probably
chicken.
so, exactly. And they offer him breakfast. He says, "No, no, no, no. I'm not here to eat breakfast. I want to know who stole that attache case." So somebody stole it. Of course,
Oh yeah.
everyone's looking at each other suspiciously.
And the funniest thing is that Mr. Howell there confesses that it just goes around the table.
Right. So the first person he asks is Mr. Howell, who immediately confesses. And he
Well, the
says,
funny
"Yes,
thing.
I did take it."
Well, he thinks I got. You think I got to the top of the corporate ladder through thievery? Of course I did. That's the only way to get on top.
Right.
I wonder if that's
Exactly.
supposed to be
Right.
like. I was wondering if that's supposed to be like kind of like a slight towards capitalism.
Well, yeah, it's a joke towards rich people cheating their way to the top, which we all know that most of them do. So he's saying, "Yes, I stole that case, but somebody stole it from me." And here we go. Marianne and I saw you hide it, so they stole it from the house. Aha. And then Skipper says, "Never mind, Marianne. It's no longer in the food locker. I have it." And then Gilligan says, "No, you mean you saw us hide it?" And he says, "Yes." Come to find out, Gilligan saw Skipper hide it, and Gilligan has it. And there it is under the table. We have it right there. And Skipper is Professor is extremely upset the fact that they stole it. "It's okay if you want to hide it, Professor. It is your turn," says Gilligan.
Well, everybody else
"Strong
had their turn.
steps
Why not
must be
him?
taken." Exactly. So he says, "Strong steps must be taken to protect it," he says. And he slams his hand down on the case, and he does it, it pops open. But then he hurries and closes it.
So he got a
So
peek.
he got a peek, but Gilligan and Skipper did not. They didn't get a chance to look. All he saw was that it said United States defense plans against secret attack. So now they get all excited even more so.
Now, would that just
I mean,
be
they make,
like when they do the secret attack plans? Is it like they just come up with a bunch of scenarios that are the most likely, or do they have like thousands upon thousands of them of different
I'm
scenarios?
sure it's probably the, I'm sure it's probably these are the cream of the crop, the ones that are the most viable, the most viable probably. So
Uh,
they're not going to send the attaché case with thousands of plans. I have a feeling it's going to be whatever the top like 2 or 3 would be, or the top one.
yeah, because this was before the CIA, so this would be, I think this would be before the OSS. So who would be in?
But
So
remember, we
that
don't know how old those plans are yet.
no, but the OSS was World War II. I'm not
We
sure
don't
what the
know how
CIA.
old the plans are yet. Spoiler.
Oh, I wasn't trying to spoil.
Uh,
I wasn't trying to spoil nothing.
no, I know, but as it stands right now,
Mm.
this is the 1960s, so the plans are probably from the 1960s.
Okay.
And we had the CIA and the FBI and all that around. It doesn't
Okay.
matter. It's an old
Yeah, I wasn't.
show.
Yeah, I wasn't sure when they were formed.
It's an old show.
Yeah.
So unwittingly and unfortunately, Gilligan puts the handcuffs around his wrist and locks them. Now they've got another issue to deal with, unfortunately. So now we have the professor trying to pick the lock and get these off Gilligan's wrist. And you notice the
Yeah.
hinges have changed again. The back to the
Yeah.
three again.
Yeah. Now I got a question. Were the handcuffs made back in like the '60s and all that way different than they are now, or did they have the same basic the same
Handcuffs have
basic?
changed over the years.
Yeah.
Handcuffs have changed over the years. I'm not sure when or what designs, but they have definitely changed. I've seen handcuffs like they go back from like the 1700s, and they look a lot different than the ones now.
Okay. Because like the ones we have nowadays are very easily pickable. That's why, because they all use like basically a master key and all that. That versus
Well,
wonder
you've
if like
seen
they had
that they use different kind. Sorry, go ahead.
because like nowadays like a lot of the handcuffs they all have like a master. It's all like the master key. So like any cop can unlock any of the any handcuffs and all that. So that's why I was asking on that there
Well, they have
versus back
different
then.
handcuffs, right? But you've seen they have different handcuffs. Like they have the kind where each cuff is held together by a little chain. You've seen that, obviously, right?
Yeah.
And then they have the kind where each cuff is held together by a hinge. Have you seen those?
No. Wait.
Yes, they have.
Oh, the hinge ones. Yeah, the
Go
hinge
ahead.
ones. I've been in. Yeah, I've had the ones with the hinge on.
Oh, you've had them on?
Uh, oh
I hope
yeah.
it wasn't too serious.
Yeah, it's just a weekend and
I only
just a
know from
weekend.
watch. I only know from. Oh, I know from watching videos on YouTube. Personally,
Yeah.
I haven't tried them out myself.
Yeah, yeah, it's just a weekend in the county jail. That's all.
Oh, there you go. And that's how you found out that they're easy to pick. I guess too, right?
Well, no, but I like if you watch a lot of the cop videos, there one cop will put them on, then another, but then another cop will come. They'll take like if they're gonna switch who's taking them in there, they'll have one guy will just take them off and hand the handcuffs back to the other guy and put his own pair on there.
Yes, I agree. So
So
here's the girls come and they have hot banana. I'm trying to say this right. Banana peel oil, and they're saying maybe they put that on the handcuffs. It'll help Gilligan slip them off. And as Marianne pours some on his hand, unfortunately it's hot and it burns him. And he says, "Oh, it's hot," and he tosses the it spills, and he tosses the pot, and it slides down the table, so you could see the spill there on the table of the banana slip.
Oh, I
Banana,
thought it
you know
actually
what I
hit.
mean?
I thought it actually hit the skipper.
I think it may
I thought
have, but if it did, he didn't make a big deal out of it, did he?
no,
I'm
but
trying to play
also
the
the
video
skipper,
clip, and it won't let me. But oh well.
also the skipper is a lot tougher than the Gilligan. So
Right. Well, he does say, "Oh, it's hot, Gilligan," so I suppose it did touch him. You're walking this out area. I'll clean it up, Skipper, says Gilligan. So now Skipper has a different idea to try to get the case off of Gilligan. So they walk over to this tree and they ask the professor to come and help them. So he says, "Gilligan, you stand right there by the tree, that is. Professor, would you give us a hand, please? Now, Gilligan, will you grab onto the tree and hang on to it? And we're going to yank on the case." And he's saying that basically they'll yank the case off of his arm. That sounds like
yeah,
it'd be very painful. Probably take some
well, that's
skin
one
with
of
it.
those they're even the skipper should know that all the only result you're gonna get out of that is breaking Gilligan's wrist.
Yeah, I know. That's what I was thinking. It's going to be very painful. And they do it, but unfortunately, Gilligan is not gripping onto the tree very much and lets loose and slides across the table. And unfortunately, stuck through the hut.
Yeah, yeah, I think they
Three
used that
hours
shot
on
before. I think that shot's been reused quite a few times. The one with his feet sticking out of the thing. I think that was a
really.
reused shot. Because I remember seeing it. I distinctly remember seeing that shot before of him sticking
That's
out of
very
the.
possible. So Mr. Howell volunteers and says that he has several keys. One of those should fit, Gilligan says all excitedly. And Professor asks why do they have so many keys, and Miss House says because we own so many things.
Yeah, that.
And she starts counting them down, and I guess they're keys to their different homes.
Yeah, and that makes me wonder why would you bring all those keys on you with you to Hawaii?
Yeah, I know, right? You think they'd be locked up like in a bank vault or something.
No, not necessarily a bank vault, but like kept around the houses, or at least kept in the car. Where that way they have them on them, they have the key on them when they decide to go to whatever house.
Well, you would, if I was rich, and let's say I had 50 houses, one in every state, I would keep a copy. I would have a safe deposit box in a bank in every one of those cities. And at every time I wanted to get to my house, I'd go to the bank, get the key out of the safe deposit box. I think that's safer than carrying around a container that has the keys to all the houses. Because if somebody gets their hands on that, you're going to get robbed fast. So, security wise, I don't think it's a good idea to carry around all those keys. But this is for the sake of the plot, obviously,
Yeah, I
and for
know.
the gag.
Yeah, I will just have like I suppose it wouldn't be funny if they only had like 10 keys on them or something, or have a huge giant like janitor keychain.
Probably not.
Because like with like the janitors and all that, they'll have like 50 keys on one thing. I will probably pull
Right.
something like that out, instead of the briefcase. But I suppose it's going for the comedic effect.
Yeah, I think so. And Professor says Gilligan house keys are useless. Professor, we have to do something fast, says Gilligan. The spies will be here any minute and they're going to kill me. It's not like we all know that's exaggerating because who knows how long that case has been in the ocean, and the government doesn't exactly know where it's at yet. So later that evening, back in the boy's hut, Gilligan thinks that he's doomed because he has the attache case locked on his arm and he can't get it off. And of course, Skipper says, "You just go to sleep. Don't you worry, little buddy. I'll fight him. I'll smash him." He says. He's saying he'll protect Gilligan if anything happens. And immediately goes to sleep.
Yeah.
I know
Yeah.
you'll snore him to death, says Gilligan.
Yeah.
Now he starts saying, of course, yeah, if he was a secret agent, and then he starts saying this to himself, which of course triggers another dream.
Yeah.
And it looks like we have Gilligan as a spy, and we have the professor as the chief of the operation.
Well,
Here,
did they
chief,
do
ready
that?
for another?
Yeah. Did
Sorry,
they do
what's
that?
that?
Did they do this because spy movies were all the rage in the late '60s? Do
Yes,
you think?
spy movies were popular, and so was the show Get Smart.
Okay, because I know they referenced. They had a line in here that was a reference to Get Smart.
Yes, at least there's a couple nods there to Get Smart.
Yeah.
He's showing him his multi-tool. It's not just a comb, Chief. Good heavens, it's a pistol designed for use at close quarters. He starts showing him all the different gadgets that he has, which is similar to like what James Bond had in the movies, and also Maxwell Smart had in Get Smart.
Yeah.
And by the way, I highly recommend Get Smart. If any of you guys get a chance to watch it, it's a excellent, one of the top best shows in the 1960s. Absolutely hilarious. And he starts showing him all the gadgets. And he's showing him that the case also has a self destruct. So if he gets trapped, you push this one button on here and you blow up too, he says. Unfortunately, we're outside the door. We have the secretary, Marianne, wearing a hot little 60s outfit. We've unfortunately been listening, and it looks like she's a double agent working for the bad guys. And she immediately opens up her compact, which is apparently um, transmitter communication device to the bad guy, who happens to be Mr. Howell.
Yeah. Now, Mr. Howell with his bald head there, he was supposed to, if I remember correctly, he was supposed to kind of be like similar to the James Bond villain. I think it was like Ernest Biofield. He was supposed to be bald also.
Blowfield.
Oh, Bofield.
Blowfield.
Yeah, Bofield. Yeah,
Yep,
so
very likely.
and the '67 film. So he's supposed to
The
match
ugly
that.
green door. Yes, it's very likely. And I was just noticing that ugly green door behind Marianne. Typical 60s.
Yeah, my grandma had the same color walls in her house.
Are those tan or is it wood paneling? Just like all
The
like a beige, I see, like a beige
no, I was talking about the
tan.
door, the green, the green. She had the walls that color.
Oh, ooh, that must have been a while since they've been painted.
Oh yeah,
So now her assignment from the bad guy, Mr. Howell, is to have him smell the chrysanthemums, which has a gun hiding inside. What are you doing with that chrysanthemum? He says, and it's got a built-in gun. Oh
yeah,
no, he says. And this is a very surprising scene here. No, I'm allergic to chrysanthemums, he says. And he shoots her. He actually has a gun hidden in his bow tie, and it shows it fire, and he shoots her. And I thought that was interesting. That was a surprise.
yeah, yeah. But here's the thing. You said it's the bow tie, right? Her face goes right up to his bow tie there because she's holding her stomach, which I thought was hilarious.
Yeah, I'm not sure where it was
Yeah,
aimed at.
yeah. They now for us younger folks, what does he mean by validate your parking or validate my parking?
Well, it's not necessarily younger folks. They still do it these days. If you go downtown, let's say you got an appointment at a lawyer's office or any office, right? And you go downtown, and the only parking they have is paid parking. You drive all over, but all there are meters and paid parking like $25. What you do is they'll tell you, well, just park where it says pay $25. And then what happens is you go to your appointment. When you're done with your appointment, they'll give you a piece of paper saying, give this to the city to pay your ticket instead. So validate your parking means to pay for the parking on your car.
Okay,
They
so it's
still
a
use it
city,
today.
so it's a city thing, okay,
Unless it's city, but also a private company could use it as well.
yeah,
Like I said, a lawyer's office, if they told you, we'll just park anywhere and we'll validate your parking, that means you just park anywhere and then they'll pay the ticket.
okay,
Here we are. Looks like she's supposed to be his girlfriend, Ginger, that is, and she's waiting for him to get home. And of course, she's also working for the bad guy. And she talks to, well, this is funny, Mr. Health, the bad guy, through the suit. And he says it's hard to see through the barley. But he's telling her instructions that she needs to kill Secret Agent 0014.
yeah. That that would be kind of cool you could actually just like lift the ladle up and you could just talk to people like that. That would be pretty neat.
Back then it was a gag, it was a joke, but now it's probably
Yeah,
actually possible. We've got smaller devices than that now we could use to communicate.
yeah,
Oh, they don't have to use Operation 2, she says. So she's got poison lipstick, and as soon as she kisses Double Agent 14, it's going to poison him, is the plan. Well, good,
yeah.
good. The kiss of death, he says. And that's Agent 014 now. She hears him at the door. Remember, the future of our evil organization depends on you. And of course, in Get Smart, the good organization is called Control, and the bad organization is called Chaos.
They don't
Remember, it's for
mention
our
it here.
future, your future.
I don't think they
What's that?
mentioned the. I don't think they mentioned the name of the organizations in this episode, or I don't remember it.
Not here. They don't make them clear. No.
Yeah, I'll
Well, at
be
the
right
beginning when
back.
it shows that Okay, when it's at the beginning, when it shows the professor with a sticker on his suit, it says the good organization or something like that. I don't remember now, but it
Oh,
did
okay.
refer to the name of the organizations. Go ahead. You're
I
checking
said,
it.
oh, okay.
Are you back already?
No, I'm trying to get my recliner pushed back. I was just responding to you while I was getting my recliner pushed back.
Oh, oh okay. Sorry.
Yep.
Reduce him to a zero. Understand? Remember our motto, he says. And what's funny is he says, remember our motto. And as he does that, she puts the spoon back into the soup, and you can hear blah, 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 blah. He's still talking, and she closes the lid. You have to see it. It's funny. And of course, she's welcoming him home. And she's insisting on a kiss, and he's saying, why? What's such a hurry? Why such a hurry for the kiss? You know, as secret agents never kiss and tell. And there she is. She gives him a kiss. But she says, well, how do you feel? Aren't you? I remember the exact words. I'm sorry, everybody. But he says he's totally fine. And she's surprised because he's not poisoned. But he says, nope. He has basically fake lips. This joke is taken directly from Get Smart. There was an episode where a secret agent, she has poison lipstick on, and she goes to kiss Maxwell Smart. She kisses him. It backfires. She dies. And to come to find out, he has fake lips on. So this very
Yeah.
gag was using Get Smart. I hit you so hard, my poison lipstick kicked back. But it didn't do anything to you, she said. So many women try to kiss us secret agents. There it is. We have to carry special protection. Lip guards. He does hold up the fake lips in front of the camera, but unfortunately, I can't show you because my connection is too crappy.
Yeah. Then,
You
yeah, I
okay?
can't. Yeah, I can't remember what Ginger or what this was here with Ginger.
And now he
Yeah.
goes to
So
visit his good mother. And there's that girl's green walls. Ugh. And of course, he's behind the door and he gets hit by the door.
yeah,
This is a gag from the Pink Panther.
yeah, and this is
So, Gilly,
and this
go ahead.
and this is the first episode of 3, I believe, that Alan Alan Hale Jr. dressed in drag.
The first one. So, the second two are in season 3.
Yeah. Do you want me to name the episodes?
Oh, okay. Sure. Go
The,
for it.
yeah, they're Lovey's secret my admirer, and Gilligan the goddess Russell Johnson.
Wait, Russell Johnson's name is in one of the titles? Say it again.
Oh wait, no, never mind. It's Gilligan the goddess. Then Johnson was enormously amused by him in the costume, so he compared him to a
Oh,
Maudie Frickeret. That's what it was.
okay. Gotcha. Gotcha. That was a character played by Jonathan Winters, a comedian back in the day. He was dressed kind of like the skipper is now. So there he is behind the door. He got, like I said, he got hit by the kitchen door. So that's why he's all crumpled in the corner. Mother, I'm off on another secret mission, he says. Oh, my baby, well, promise me now. And basically saying, what? You need a shave, he says, for his mother. But first, mother wants to look at that television on the bottom right hand corner. That's actually how some of the TVs were. That is a small like a 12-inch, I'm guessing, TV, black and white. Mother goes
Oh,
to get dinner, which is a bowl of soup. Or here, let me take that heavy bag off your arm. He's struggling trying to eat the soup, but unfortunately, he's right-handed, so he's having trouble because of the attaché case. And mom tries to help him, and he realizes, "You're not my mother. My real mother would have made me wash my hands," he said, "before I eat.
oh,
And besides," and he yanks off the wig.
yeah. Pesky little details like that. They always get in the way.
Exactly. And besides, I have a torture for you worse than death. Worse? Oh no, exactly. Sit down there at the table. And he's going to be double agent, eat the poisonous soup. And I thought it was interesting how they're going to do this. And it's like they just fade out to the next scene. So we're assuming he made the skipper, aka the bad guy, eat the poisonous soup. So now we have the head bad guy's office, and he's got the map here, and we got Mrs. Howell playing his mall. And the reason why I highlight that word is because Gilligan's going to mention it earlier. And if you're listening and you're saying, "What did he say? What did he say?" It's Moll, Moll. That's usually the name of the girlfriend that you always see sitting next to the bad guy in these gangster movies and TV shows. Evil Agent 10 failed. Evil Agent 5 failed. Another thing, all the agents have failed so far. But now the ultimate plan is they're going to trick him by having him come here because Gilligan doesn't know who the person looks like that he's supposed to hand off the attaché case to. Oh, a good guy with 14 can't escape us now. Sorry, the way these subtitles are working, it's missing most of them. I apologize, guys.
Yeah.
Oh,
No.
fortunately, good guy
Yeah.
014.
Yeah. Hey, welcome, Daniels.
Which Daniel is that? That Daniel's Hot Topics?
Yep, he says,
Hello,
"Hello,
Daniel.
Pop.
Good to see you there.
Hi, hi, girl. Is that the bad guy of the series?" No, it's
No, this is a dream sequence.
yeah,
This is a dream sequence, and that's Mr. Howell, the millionaire, dressed up as a bad guy for the dream.
yeah. Then
And they take the.
Suzanne, here, let's catch up on these chats real quick. Suzanne says, "Get
Thank you.
smart in his shoe phone," and other Grace is
Yes,
Ginger with sunglasses and a smiley face.
she was hot. And of course, she's still the only remaining cast member. Hello? Are there any more chats?
Yeah. No, that's all the chat. Sorry.
Oh, okay. Thank you. So the bad guy says, "Now that we got the attaché case, and we're going to kill you." And he pulls out a gun and he shoots it. And this is what we get. So we find out that Agent 014 tricked him. And he comes in the door. Good heavens. Oh, it's a machine. And he comes in. Aha, I knew I was going to be tricked. And that's why I sent in a robot instead. Now I know why they call you 014. She says, "Yes, you're twice as smart as 007." So there's the joke referring to James Bond. And he tries the old gag, "Look who's that behind you." And they try to struggle. And there's actually a small fight scene here. Struggle scene, not really much because it is the Howells, obviously, after all. And we wake up with Gilligan struggling here. And they're struggling with him because he's having a nightmare. And the case pops open. And all the contents fall to the ground. inside the case, they find the key to the lock, and he's able to take out the handcuffs. And Professor says we don't have to worry. They're vital defense plans, all right, he says. All the panic he went through was for nothing. So you find out now. We find out the plans were for World War One. So yeah, they're very likely obsolete now at this point. And the
Oh
house
yeah,
come rushing in to find out what all the commotion's about.
yeah,
Sorry, go ahead.
yeah, yeah. Be most definitely be with World War II. They'd be out of date.
Yeah. The house come in rushing in to find out what all the commotion's about. And Gilligan is still dazed from his dream. It's them, it's Mr. Evil and his mall. Run, hide. That's where I talked about the word mall. Run, hide. Quick, take cover, they're after the case. And he runs out. And not only at the beginning, not only do we get a prelude at the beginning of these episodes, but we get a different ending here.
Yeah. Well, this is one of 3 episodes that Gilligan actually describes his dreams to the other castaways.
Oh, well, that's interesting. Okay,
Yeah,
but it's noticeably different.
the other 2 were, and then there were none, and the secret of Gilligan's Island.
Oh, okay, gotcha. Very cool. Marianne was a receptionist and she tried to kill me, he said. With a ludicrous sentence. Of course, he can't pronounce it. Only in his dream can he pronounce it. And she pretended to be, and he says, and Ginger, she pretended to be my fiance. And she tried to kill me with the kiss of death. And he's going on and on and on.
Yeah.
And saying, don't they believe him? And he talks about how the chief told him that there was an explosive device in his attache case. All he had to do was push a button. And Skipper says, now that the nightmare is over, let's forget it.
Mm.
And he tosses his suitcase over into the water. Imagine that, a booby-trapped attache case. And they laugh and they head out back towards the huts.
Yeah. Now all they have to do is keep the handcuffs because it could come in handy in future episodes. You know, they get a. Also, that last scene there with the briefcase exploding, that was cut out of syndication.
Maybe they thought it was too violent or something. Does it say why?
Yeah, it doesn't say
Hello?
why. It just says it was cut out.
Oh.
Yeah.
I don't know if it necessarily for timing or not, or they thought maybe it'd be too violent. But I was thinking about what you're saying. I don't know if there was a complete set of handcuffs on that attaché case or not. Or is it like one? How am I describe this? A handcuff has 2 different cuffs on it, one for one hand, one for the other. Now, if you have a secret agent's attaché case, I don't think it's going to have 2 different cuffs on it. I think it's going to have one cuff attached to the case with like a bolt or a chain or something like that. I don't necessarily know. I didn't notice while watching this if it had 2 handcuffs attached. Did you notice?
I thought it had 2 cuffs on it, but I could be wrong.
You could be right. I didn't notice. I didn't think about it until you asked the question.
Yeah.
Let me get our closure.
Yeah, but I'll be right back.
Go for it. And of course, we got our famous closing song. I wish we could play, of course, everybody. But unfortunately, don't want to get warned by YouTube. There we go. All right. That completes this episode, which was season 3, episode 11. So now we're going to move on to episode 12, which is The Kidnapper. And this next episode here premiered on Monday, November 23rd. Excuse me, Monday, November 28th, 1966. Oh, so right around Thanksgiving time. Very nice. Okay. Let me get that all queued up for us. And just like the last episode, as you notice, it does not start off immediately with the opening song and the dock with Skipper and Gilligan, but it opens with the establishing shot of the island here with some palm trees. Let me
Yeah.
size it up here and get it ready to go.
While you're doing that, there, PvP says episode TV generally had no single series bad guy, or he meant episodic. Ginger is a great receptionist. Well, she wasn't the receptionist. Marianne was.
Right,
And
Marianne was
great
a reception.
spears.
Ginger Ann was a fiance. Go
Yeah,
ahead.
and he says, release the Kraken. Then he says, explosive. Then, okay, we're all caught up.
Thank you. I appreciate that. And we start off with a ransom note. Skipper, I just can't believe it. I can tell you right now, whoever wrote that letter has a much better handwriting than I do. Mine's not very
Same here.
legible.
Yeah, they wrote it in some foreign handwriting.
No, that's handwriting. It's just that it's very neat.
Oh, I was making a joke about it being cursive.
Oh. Which, of course, they don't even teach in the schools anymore. So dumb. So dumb.
Yeah. Hey, in the 60s, were they still paying off the kidnappers there and hoping to trace the money, or is it now that did they this when they changed tactics there? Because I know with the Lindbergh baby there, they tried paying off they paid off the kidnappers hoping to chase the money, and they still never did get their kid back.
Well, you're asking if they were still paying the ransom for what exactly?
Yeah. Hell, did they still just pay their ransom and hope to track the money, or is this after they changed the tactics of that?
Oh, they always change the tactics, but they also pay ransom sometimes too.
Okay.
So it was constantly changing. Even now, it still is. Even now, it still is.
Because I'm pretty sure it was the Lindbergh's baby there that they stopped paying the ransoms there, and I think they started doing die packs or stuff. Or trying to catch them with drop points.
That was that particular family, but I know there was one example where there was somebody got kidnapped in a family. It was a rich family, and the whoever was in charge, the grandpa, the head guy, they contacted him and said, "Look, your grandson or whoever it was is kidnapped, and they want this much money for them in return." And the guy said, "No, I'm not going to pay that much money. My kid's not worth it." So they disposed of the kid. I'll put it that way. That actually did happen, unfortunately. $10,000 in 10s and 20s in a bag, and take it to the big rock on the north side. You stop that, Gilligan. Let me get on with this. So Gilligan's telling him that the note says take it to the big rock on the other side of the island, which is 7 paces from the tree trunk. And Gilligan's saying there's no way it could be 7 paces. I've been there. The skipper says that doesn't matter. Of course. Do this immediately or you'll never see Mrs. Howell again. Did you sign it? Of course, kidnappers don't sign ransom notes.
Huh. Only the dumb ones.
what I thought was interesting too is it's a handwritten note. Usually, kidnappers don't use handwritten notes because you can trace the writing back to the kidnapper. But I'm assuming that the kidnapper knew that they weren't able to do this because it's just 7 people on an island.
Oh yeah,
That's why, yeah, that's why usually when you see ransom notes, they're made up of like clippings from newspapers and stuff like that.
yeah. I don't know how far back that tracing the handwriting goes.
It goes back quite a ways because they would not only would they be afraid of them tracing the handwriting, but they'd be afraid of them tracing like the typewriter or whatever it was printed on, and that's why they were using clips of newspapers with the different letters from a different page and stuff like that. Made it harder to trace, and also while uh, avoiding getting their fingerprints on the paper too, because you can lift fingerprints off of a note like that.
Yeah. I don't know
So
how far
whoever
back
it is,
fingerprints goes.
what's that?
I don't know how far back fingerprints goes.
I know it was relatively new when Jack the Ripper was around. And that was the 1800s.
Okay, so approximately then. Okay,
Uh-huh.
1880s.
Right. So the ransom note says that it wants Gilligan and the professor to deliver the ransom. And the reason why they know it's Gilligan it says because the skinny sailor with the skinny guy with the sailor hat. First, we have to get the money from Mr. Howell. And of course, Gilligan says he wishes it would say the fat guy with the sailor hat. And now we get our opening and our heroes.
For a, for an uncharted island, an awful lot of people do seem to end up on it.
Yeah, they seem to find their way there, even by accident, some of them, as we'll see here in this next episode. Hold on a second, I'll be right back.
Hmm. Oh, okay. Uh, let's see. There's absolutely no chats to check up on. Let's see if we got any interesting tidbits for this episode. Uh, um, I don't know that I can really say. Oh, well, this episode here is kind of like a loose remake of Little Island Big Gun, which has also had a criminal hiding on the island. But that's about it. You back, Pop?
What's that?
You back?
Yeah, I heard a strange noise. It sounded like something popping or like a small explosion or something. I don't know what it was. And
Oh,
all I could think about was maybe when I put my soda, when I got my Pepsi, I put another one in the freezer, which I usually do to get it cold. And I thought well, maybe it's exploded, but I went and I took it out and it's no. So I don't know what. I'm sorry, I don't know what made that noise. I apologize, guys.
right. If I
All right, back to Gilligan's Island.
dang it.
Created by wonderful Silver Schwartz, of course. Directed by Jerry Hopper. I'll thrash him within an inch of his life. I'll. And now Mr. Howell is counting out the ransom money. 1,000, 2,000, 3,000, 4,000, 5,000. He has all the money right there. And Ginger says, the ransom note said that you should pay it in tens and twenties. Please, Hal never carries petty cash, he says. $1,000 bills. I don't know if they have those anymore. Or if they ever did. One of the largest bills I've ever carried are hundreds. But I'm not Mr. Howell, obviously. I'd give everything in the world I have to climb the highest. I'd climb the highest mountain. He's talking about all the things that he would do to get Mrs. Howell back. I'd brave any danger to hold her once more in my arms. Such devotion, says Ginger. Are you going to deliver the ransom yourself? Oh no, I can't. The mosquitoes are terrible this time of year.
Yeah. Oh, he would never survive where around here then, because I get bitten up by mosquitoes all the time in the summer.
Yeah, there's ways to get around that.
Yeah. And fun fact, it was because the mosquitoes was part of the reason that the French decided to sell us the Louisiana Purchase. Fun little fact for you.
We're good. Then we got a good deal on it, I imagine.
Yeah.
Was something wrong with the sound?
Oh, my headphones are jack is
Oh, there
the
it is. It sounds fine now. And here's Gilligan coming in, and of course he's saying to somebody off camera, "I still think the fat one with the captain's hat should." And of course, he's telling the professor, so he's complaining because obviously Gilligan doesn't want to go. They collected the ransom money, and now they're at the spot, and there's a big rock, and there's a big tree where they're supposed to hide the money. You put the money in the log, as the note says, says the professor. Notice he has the bag there with the money in it, and he's got the string tied around his wrist. Gilligan grabs the bag and starts to run with it, but unfortunately it's still tied to the skipper's hand. I hate describing slapstick humor because it ruins it. So, but I was trying to explain what was going on camera there, in case you guys are wondering. I apologize for that.
yeah.
He has 7 faces. One, two, and he's counting out the faces. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. He's saying, see, I told you it was
Oh,
only 7 faces.
oh man, I laughed
Go
so hard.
ahead.
That sounds like something my kid would do. There.
What's that?
Well, when he goes 1, 2, 3, then quickly just shovels his feet to prove that he was right. Because
Oh, okay, gotcha.
yeah, because it was 7 paces, but he quickly shuffled his feet to add 5 more paces.
Yes, yes, I
Yeah.
agree. So Gilligan goes to start putting the money inside there, and he figures maybe it needs to be put in deeper. He goes to shove it in there, and then unfortunately, he goes, "Oh, he's stuck. Help, Professor! I'm stuck. Hey, Professor!
Yeah. Now
Gilligan,
I
stay
wonder.
there."
Yeah, what was that made out of so that they could pull off the scene?
Well, obviously, that's just it. This prop has been used in previous episodes, and it's obviously made out of foam. That's the only way that he would be strong enough to lift it. And in real life, he wouldn't be able to lift that log at all. He would just be stuck in that one end. They would have to pull him out.
Okay, because yeah, I didn't know what they would made it out of, or if it's a cardboard one.
Oh, okay. Sure looks realistic.
Yeah, whoever did the painting was doing pretty good with the did knows how to handle a brush.
Yes. And of course, Gilligan runs with the log. and crashes. Professor, how am I going to get out of this? So now they got it upside down,
Mm-hmm.
and Gilligan's stuck on the top. And they don't. Now the camera immediately cuts to here, so they do not tell us how the kidnapper got the ransom, how they got the location of Mrs. Howell. None of that. It just cuts straight to here. So don't expect a lot of answers in this episode, guys. Oh, what a harrowing experience, she says. I was sure the blindfolded would ruin my hairdo, she said. Oh, you must have suffered terribly, says the professor. She said, oh, yeah, it was indignity. I was being kidnapped in slacks. Just as they save her, here comes Ginger with another note saying Mary Ann's been kidnapped. Oh no, now they're reading this note here. And then take the ransom money to the statue of the old native god. Just a moment.
Oh,
All right. And my dog decides to jump up in my lap, of course.
Yeah. So this would be a good time here. So this is like I think this is one of the few time. This is where the two landmarks are actually featured on the island here.
Oh, really? Tell us more.
Well, yeah. Well, the only time like they're thinking that we think the idol is Kupaki there from the high man on the totem pole. There, you
Uh
said we see
huh.
that log quite a few times. That we know that that's on the. So we kind of know where they're at now, and their actual landmarks.
Well, I
We're
don't know
talking
if that.
about.
Yeah, but I don't know if that log is supposed to be the same log we saw before, or not. That I don't know.
Okay, but no, it's two distinct landmarks though. That when we see that when we see like they know where they're at when as soon as they mentioned them.
Right. You're right about that. As soon as they mentioned them, they knew them by name and where they were located.
Hmm. Yeah.
I don't.
So,
I don't know why the subtitles just are not working very well tonight.
huh?
I don't know if it's my video player or what's going on. So
Eh,
now they've got to deliver the ransom for Marianne, and it's got to go inside the mouth of this tiki pole, and they want to deliver by the Howells. And they must climb up into the mouth of that idol. And he says it would take somebody with muscles of steel, and of course he immediately volunteers Lovey to climb it. And she says, "Well, I can't do that." And he says, "Okay, but I need the ransom money. Must I do everything?" He says.
yeah. Uh,
Oh, Thurston.
yeah. And this is where I thought it was kind of odd for it being the 1960s, and they have the woman push up the man on top to the top of the pole hole.
Uh huh.
Yeah, I thought that was just kind of weird for the 60s there. Uh, you'd think
Oh,
it'd be lovely quickly stuffing it up there, but I know they did the previous joke as part of the laugh there, but it's just I don't know. It just seemed like kind of weird
I
for me.
figured. I figured they'd do it like this because they don't want to. They wouldn't want to show her falling or in danger of falling, maybe. perhaps. And obviously make it look like the man does all the hard work. I'm guessing. Of course, I have no idea. That's just strictly speculation. And there he has climbed up to the top. There's the mouth of the idol. He sticks the note, the ransom inside, and he falls. And now we are back with in the Howl hut. I apologize, guys. My video player is like really lagging tonight.
Oh.
But Mr. Howe is beside himself on how much money he has paid out in ransom lately. First for Levy, and then now another 10,000 for Levy, and now another 30,000 for Marianne.
Now, what do you think is more he's more assaulted by? Uh, Mary him charging 30,000 for Marianne and Levy's only charged 10,000, or the fact that he keeps having to give up the money.
He's having to give up the money. He
You think
didn't seem
that's
to
what?
notice yet. Well, they haven't mentioned yet that right that they wanted more for Marianne. So they paid. Obviously, the Howells paid the ransom for Marianne, and it cuts immediately here, and we get Marianne come running into the, which means yes, she's been rescued from the kidnapper, but she has another note. Well, I don't want to ruin this. He gagged me. He tied my hands behind my back, and then she's talking about the horrible experience she had in the hands of the kidnapper. And then Mrs. House says, "Oh, after all, it's just money." And he says, "Levy, will you stop saying that?
Yeah, it's like, watch your mouth.
Over $20,000 is a lot of money, Mr. Howell." And then she says, I'll figure out a way of paying you back somehow." And Mrs. House says, "Oh, no, that won't be necessary." And he says, "Will you let the Earl talk, Levy?" And Gilligan rushes in and says they have another note. Now it looks like Ginger's been kidnapped. And Mr. Howell has his change belt. Have you ever seen one of those before, Gorilla?
Yes, at casinos.
Okay. Yeah, they used to use them, I was going to say. Not necessarily for dollar bills, they're usually for coins mostly, but that is a joke that Mr. Howell happens to carry it around him, and he says it's just his petty cash. So $30,000 for Ginger. Now we immediately cut, so they've already rescued Ginger, paid the ransom, and now she's already back. And she's talking about the indignity and how horrible it was to be kidnapped. Well, the first thing I can remember was icy fingers as they clamped over my lips. There was a knife against my throat. And then he said, "If you move, you're dead." Now, as you can see, she's sort of embellishing the story too. He just kept laughing. And the other lady said, "I don't remember that when he kidnapped me." And she said, "Me either." And then Ginger admits, "Well, no, I just added that for drama." Oh, Ginger. Well, the important thing is that you're back. And these infernal kidnappings are over. And Ginger says, "But he says he's going to come back and start all over." And Gilligan says, "Boy, you can make a fortune just selling him rope." But they decide they need to do something. They're not going to just sit idly by while each of them get kidnapped again. So they decide to build a trap. Professor, this is a neat trap, says Gilligan. And now the professor. I wish. I apologize. My video player is not showing the text,
Yeah.
which is making it difficult for me to remember everything they said. But he basically started describing to them that it's a tiger trap.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to
But
get the darn thing working. There we go.
yeah, there's just one flaw with his plan there. That requires the guy to precisely step into the thing that's a wide area
Exactly
for the step
right.
around.
Yeah, exactly. It's not easy, guys. For those of you guys in the chat, this is nearly impossible to do this without any subtitles because I don't remember exactly what they said. Even though I just watched this today, I don't want to ruin what they said. But my stupid video player,
We'll just have to
like right now, I'm
might just have to describe the scene instead.
yeah. But I say we encourage you guys to watch this on your own anyway. So yeah, obviously we're not going to be able to say and repeat everything that they say. So now they got the trap all set, and we have Skipper and Professor watching from close by. And Gilligan's watching and waiting, and they got the trap set for the kidnapper. And somebody puts the hat over the torch. And of course, Gilligan immediately panics. Professor Skipper, and he starts hollering out, Professor, light the torch. Unfortunately, they caught Gilligan in the trap instead.
Yeah.
I knew it was a dumb idea, Professor.
Yeah. Well, that's why he's a security cat. But now that we get introduced to this guy here, like when I see the description, they spoiled who it was or the actor in like actually in the description.
You mean in the beginning credits?
No, like actually in the description here because the the description was a compulsive kidnapper. Don Rickles plagues the castaways.
It
They
said
had it
that
in
within the
parentheses.
episode?
No, they said that in the description on Tubi.
Oh, I know, but I didn't want to read that.
Yeah, no, but we
It
are.
says something on it, right? It says something on Internet Movie Database, but I didn't want to reveal that part. But that's okay.
Yeah,
We find
no,
out
well,
eventually who it is, right?
well, this is we have it right here on screen.
I know, but I'm saying it doesn't matter because we find out eventually who it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, and now we get introduction to the kidnapper because even though they accidentally caught Gilligan in the trap, Skipper was able to apprehend the kidnapper, who was played by Don Rickles. Do you know who that is, Gorilla?
Don Rickles, I'm not good with names.
Oh, Don Rickles was a comedian. He was an actor and a stand-up comedian. Very, 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 very funny. He did a lot of back then. This is the '60s. He was in Get Smart. He was in Gilligan's Island, as you see here. He did cameos in different things. He also acted in a few movies, including Kelly's Heroes with Clint Eastwood. But he was mostly known for his stand-up act in Vegas. And he was one of the best comedians out there. Very, very, very funny. Much, much funnier than he is here in this episode because he has to really dial it back. He was kind of offensive. He would get up on stage and he would start insulting people.
Oh,
And they leave and they walk away and they leave Gilligan, unfortunately. There they go. They got him. Another cage. And they're asking him about the kidnapping. Oh, it's just a hobby, he says. And they're asking him, why does he do it? But I saw you people, and he just came back, he said. The poor man is sick. And they're right. That's not a sickness. That's when you're breaking the law. I see this all the time, and I watch videos on YouTube. When I see people committing crimes, and I see in the comments section where people say, "Oh, they need help. They're sick." No, they're not. When people commit crimes, that's breaking the law. That's not sick, in my opinion. That is. So they asked him how he got to the island. He said, "Well, I got caught in a storm." Wait a minute, you have a boat? Is it navigable? And Gilligan says, "Never mind that, can't sail." I think so, but the propeller got bent. But it could be fixed, he says. Now they're all talking about how they could use that boat, obviously, to escape the island. And they're asking, where's the boat? He says, it's on the beach on the other side of the lagoon.
Well,
But
you
we
think
better get down there and see if it's seaworthy. Go ahead.
yeah, you think when the people were first getting kidnapped there, they'd actually go look for the boat because obviously had to get there somehow. They didn't even do that.
Yep, I suppose so. That would have been a good idea.
Can we
Yep,
catch up on chats here real quick?
good idea. Thank you.
Greg says change belts. I haven't seen one of those in decades. Ginger's acting is great here. She really enjoying the role. Yeah. I think they all were. And television sitcoms were just more fun in the '60s. Oh, most definitely. Kelly's Heroes is a great movie. Never heard of it. Have you?
Yes, I mentioned it. I said Don Rickles was
Oh,
in Kelly's Heroes with Clint Eastwood.
okay. All right, Don Rickles was in Death Smash Strikes Again as Mr. Olsen. Oh, okay, cool. Who would wear a suit on a tropical island? Mr. Howells wears suits.
Yep, that's true. And he didn't know he
Yeah.
was going to be knocked off course. Remember that, guys?
Yeah. That
If
island is
anything,
paradise.
I guess if anything, you could ask who'd wear a suit while driving a boat. I guess. Yes, island is paradise.
Yeah. And
As long as you got
uh
no, as long as you have Ginger and Marianne with you.
yeah.
I wouldn't want to
He
be
goes,
alone.
out of balance propeller is very difficult to repair. All the professor can fix it, no
That is
problem.
true.
I'm pretty, I'm
Yeah,
pretty sure the
if there
skipper
was
can
anyone to
fix it.
trust, if there was anyone that I had to trust, it would be the professor.
Or skipper. Alrighty, and at least take the coat off, yeah. But Mr. Howell wears the same stuff, so
Are we done?
yeah. Oh, sorry, yeah, we're all caught up.
Okay. And here's what the professor says: Skipper, we better get down there and see if it's seaworthy.
Yeah. Hey, welcome, Nemesis of Eden. Welcome.
Hello, Nemesis. Good to see you, buddy. Hope you're doing well.
Yeah. He says, Hail, Pop, Gorilla, OG, Daniel, and Chat. Hope you're all having a lovely evening.
I would say yes. I know I am so far. Speaking for myself, that is. Now they're off to see if they can get the boat repaired. And here come the Howells come to talk to him. And furthermore, when we get back to the mainland, they're already making plans, of course. I know I hate myself for it. They're talking about turning him in, but of course he's trying to play their sympathy side. Not only is he a kidnapper, but he's also a con man. Well, you're even nicer than Mrs. Vandermeer, he tells her. Vandermeer, do you mean Melissa Vandermeer? And he says, yes. I snatched her in 1962. Oh, isn't it a small world, she says. He says, yeah, her husband paid $50,000 for her, you know. 50,000? He only asked 10,000 for me. See, this is where she starts to ask about how much or how little he asked for her. And Mr. Howell's like, you put me in a most embarrassing position.
Yeah.
By this rascal, says Mr. Howell. And you, sir, you're the kind of guy I always wanted to be. Buttering up on his good side, and of course it works. Oh, that again, don't. Sorry, the text seems to be working off and on, but right, the crook is trying to con them all because he knows they're going to turn him in as soon as they get to the mainland, and he's trying to convince them that he's a good guy and he's turned a new leaf. And you're a good-looking guy like you. And now he's flattering the skipper, and the skipper's falling for it, hook, line, and sinker. A little what? Modesty. When we get home, he should be turned over to the police, says the professor.
So, professors in the camp of they can't be reformed. He can't be reformed.
Yes, which makes sense. The professor's smart, and he knows the guy's not going to turn over a new leaf that quickly. But it doesn't matter because I would tell the guy whatever he wants to hear as long as he gets me off the island. When we get to the mainland, that's a different story. So here's where Ginger thinks she can get to him psychologically.
Well, he could take him to the. He could just drop him off at a port there, then just take off again.
Well, that's true. If he doesn't leave him on the island.
Well, that's if he was going to take him with him, you know.
Yes. Those crazy big old glasses remind me of something a Fred Flintstone would wear.
Yeah. Yeah. Turner's psychiatrist thing.
What's that?
Yeah, that her and her psychiatrist thing.
Yes. All right, who'd you get up there? Okay. You're really a good Joe, right? 16. Ginger says a joke about something and he's laughing at it. Sorry, guys. Hard to tell without the text working correctly. The girls are trying to convince the professor that the kidnapper has turned over a new leaf and he really is a good guy. And the professor is not believing any of it. Hey, folks, the propeller is all fixed. And Gilligan goes to prove it to him. I'm going to see if I can show this here without it getting me in trouble.
Oh, yeah.
And there we go.
Yeah, he just takes off.
Right, the propeller takes off, unfortunately, with Gilligan in tow.
Yeah. Hey, welcome, Boomer.
And the skipper goes, "Hello, Boomer, good to see you. Hope you're doing well tonight." And Skipper goes chasing off after the propeller and Gilligan. And it's hard to tell here with the videos, but what's happening is you can see the back in the background there, trees are being tossed and bushes are being cut and stuff like that. So it's like they're traveling along, and there they go, crash through the wall of the hut. Look at the size of that lock, and that's what I was thinking. Is a very comedic chain and lock. That sucker must weigh several pounds, but oh well. And they go and they unlock it, and of course Ginger is convinced that the kidnapper has turned over a new leaf, that he is now a good guy, and they're very happy that he is rescuing them. And the Howells are going to throw him a party tonight in celebration in his honor. I just hope I remember where I hid the money, he says. So now we get scenes of them dancing in the party. And the kidnapper, I should say his name. I can't believe it. I keep saying the kidnapper. Or Don Rickles. That's not very nice. Mr. Wiley, that's it. Mr. Wiley is the name of the kidnapper. So he asks, "Would I like to exchange partners?" And Mr. House says, "Sure enough." And the first thing he does is reaches behind and steals Mrs. Howell's necklace. And now he switches partners again, and now he's with Ginger. "I like you best in your last movie, Moon Over the Mohawk." And she says it wasn't the title. It was actually Mohawk Over the Moon. And he says, "It's just gorgeous, thank you." And it's hard to catch it here, of course, but he steals her earrings. And now we cut to later that evening where everybody's having a seat at the table, and he slips and he takes, there we go, he takes Mr. Howe's wallet. "Mr. Wiley, quiet, folks, please." And now he asks if Mr. Wiley wants to say a toast. And he says, "Jolly good." And he says, "Thanks, Skipper. I want you all to know how grateful I am." And he says, "I'm overwhelmed. I'm all choked up." But he says that I'm so choked up, I need a few moments to myself.
Oh,
"Listen, you have to excuse me. I'd like to be alone to think of my good fortune," he says. In meeting them all is what he's basically saying. You think they would be a little more on guard, but oh well, after all, they are the castaways. So he excuses himself. "Well, I don't know about the rest of you, but I feel very good inside," says Ginger. And they're all saying how well and how good they feel. And that's when Mrs. Howell notices that her necklace is missing. And Mr. Howell notices his wallet. The professor notices his, I believe it's his watch. But all of them have something missing. So Mr.
Yeah,
Wiley's pickpocketed something from everybody.
let's see. Barry Allen's earrings. Gilligan's pocket
Very
knife.
Ellen.
His watch. I can't remember the skipper or Mary Ann's.
And he even stole his gold suspenders. Shame, shame, shame.
Oh yeah, he stole his wallet.
And now they go. They hear the. That's when they heard the motor starting up on the boat, and they all rush to the lagoon. Unfortunately, too late. And there goes Mr. Wiley. Hey, there was a note back there on a tree. Let me see. I need some light. So they're trying to read it, but it's too dark. Wait a minute. Here's my lighter. It's he took that too. He even stole Mr. Howell's lighter. Darn it. I got some matches. Wait a minute, says Gilligan. Hi, dear folks. Sorry to disappoint you. Reads the note. I know you wouldn't want me to get sick of them. So basically, yeah, as we all guessed, he left them with the jewelry and all the ransom money. He says, so you see, it's not easy. The professor's telling them it's not easy to convert a career criminal. Come to think of it, that's the way it ended in the movie too, says Ginger. And we get our closing. Special guest star Don Rickles as Norbert Wiley. Glad to see ya. On the seventh stranded castaways here on Gilligan's Isle. And that concludes tonight's 2 episodes of Gilligan's Island from season 3. And like I said, that was episodes 11 and 12. So once we get to the end of season 3, that's the end of Gilligan's Island. So, Gorilla, tell me, what did you think about the episodes? Which one was your favorite between the two?
Yeah, I love it. Old good old classic spy episode. There.
Oh, the first one?
Yeah, the kidnapper
So you
one.
said,
That just seemed. It just seemed a little weird. It's like, okay. I enjoyed the spy one though, real a lot more.
no, it's totally fine. So did I. If I did guess between the two, which one I liked the best, I would say the spy one as well, the invasion. But of course, I'm always fond of the anytime they have a dream episode because it's nice to see the characters dressed up as other people and ham it up. As well as I mentioned before, the cast members also enjoyed the episodes where they had the dream sequences because it gave them a chance to kind of spread their wings and play something different. So I thought that was very enjoyable as well. And I want to remind everybody I do have a poll in the chat. If you'd like to, please consider voting. Let us know which episode you like the best, and I'll share the results with everyone. If you haven't done so, maybe consider hitting the like button. And if you haven't done so, maybe subscribe to my channel. I have a lot of other content on there you'll enjoy as well. Gorilla, would you like to tell us a little bit about your channel?
Well, I do five live streams a week. There on Wednesdays before Gilligan's Island, we watch 2 episodes of Justified. We just started season 5 tonight, so next week will be
Nice.
episode 2 and 3. Um, uh, for Thursdays we do Cringe Stock, and our next one will be um, Kirk Cameron's Left Behind. For this week's Walton episode, it's The Runaways on Friday. There will be no Saturday night reviews or Simba Sunday this week, but the next ones of those will be the week after with Johnny Mnemonic or
Mnemonic.
Mnemonic. Yeah.
Never
And
mind.
then for Cinema Sunday, we will be watching the extended version of Lord of the Rings.
Oh, very cool. Yeah. So, for Lord of the Rings fans out there, pay attention. You want to be there for that. And what else do you have there to share, Gorilla?
Oh, I got a bunch of shorts on my channel. Like I just did a bunch of fire truck shorts the other day.
True. Did you already
Yeah.
mention your cringe talk?
Yeah. Yeah, that one's gonna
Okay,
be
very cool.
behind.
Oh, duh, that's right. And I want to thank you for helping me out tonight, for joining me, and for helping me with the chats once again, Gorilla. I could not have done it without you. Seriously, my voice, as you can tell, is not exactly all there. So it's a big, big, big help when you're here. And as far as my channel is concerned, Saturday night we should have rumblies from the lab at 6 p.m. Mountain Time. And then Sunday we'll be back with another episode from the classic Lost in Space at 6 p.m. Mountain Time. And then next Tuesday night on our sort of sci-fi horror stream, we'll be back with another title there. And I'll be putting the poll up here within the next day or so. It'll be by tomorrow, tonight or tomorrow. I'll put the poll up. We can all vote on you guys what you would like to see on the next sci-fi horror stream. But now I'm going to share the results of the poll. All right. Which episode did you enjoy the most? It looks like I've got 9 votes. Thank you for participating, everybody. I really appreciate that. And it looks like they agree with us. 66% of the votes were for the invasion, and 33% of the votes were for the kidnapper. So excellent. Thank you, guys. Very, very, yeah, but they pretty much align to where you and I were voting for as well. Is there anything you'd like to add before we close this out, Gorilla?
Well, let's catch up on these chats real quick.
Excellent
Nemesis
idea,
says,
sir.
glad to hear it, gentlemen. And other Greg says, gangsters were usually well dressed in these time periods as depicted by media anyway. Yeah.
Yep.
And the boomer says, I would make passes at that woman wearing glasses. And he said he had a great day out on the Boreal desert, clear skies in mid-70s. Nice.
Oh, very cool.
And other Greg says, good night, everyone. Yeah, Boomer.
Good night, Other Greg.
I think they were going to start that one at 4 o'clock Central Standard Time, which would be 2 o'clock Pacific.
It's going to be a long movie, isn't it?
4.5 hours.
Oh, yeah. It's a long stream. I give you credit for that, sir. Is that it for the chats?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, thank you, everybody in the chat for joining us tonight. I hope you all had a wonderful time. I hope you enjoyed yourself. And like I said, we will be back next Wednesday with 2 more episodes from season 3 of Gilligan's Island. And Gorilla, especially, like I said, thank you for helping me out and for reading the chats for me. And I'll hopefully see you maybe Saturday. I know you're going to be busy with, is it Easter? Am I right?
Yeah.
Okay. So I know I may not see you Saturday, but hopefully I'll see you Monday for Gilligan, for Lost in Space. If you can't make it, though, I understand. As far as I know, we're still going to do Lost in Space on Monday. Jill said she's going to be available. So I think TVP will be available. I know I'll be available. But let us know how it is for you, okay?
Okay.
All right. So with that, I want to thank everybody. And I appreciate it. If you have to work tomorrow, please drive safe. Stay warm wherever you're at. And peace.